The car engine is the real heart of any vehicle. It is the beast that makes your car roar, taking you across miles with power and grace. Now, some car engines are fine, sure. Maybe they get the job done. But if you are someone who wants reliability, the kind that keeps going mile after mile without breaking a sweat, then you need something legendary. You want the best of the best. So what are the 10 most reliable car engines of all time? And what makes these engines stand out from the rest? Let's find out. Toyota 22 RE engine. The Toyota 22 RE engine is one of the best products we have seen in Toyota's lineup. This started back in 1982 when it was built as an upgrade from the earlier 20R and 22R engines. The 22RE quickly gained a reputation for being reliable and tough, especially in Toyota's trucks and SUVs. You have probably heard of it. It was the engine of choice in the iconic Toyota Hilux, aka the Toyota pickup in North America, and the Toyota 4Runner. And if you know anything about off-roading or rugged adventures, these vehicles were the go-to for a reason. Let's talk numbers now. The 22RE is a 2.4-liter inline four-cylinder engine that churns out anywhere from 105 to 114 horsepower and 137 to 140 lb of torque, depending on the year. Nothing crazy powerful, but hey, it was not about horsepower, it was about lasting power. This engine was built to keep going, and yes, it did deliver. One thing that set the 22RE apart was its single overhead camshaft design, which made it simple but effective. The engine block is made of cast iron, and the cylinder heads are pure aluminum. That combination gave it the strength to handle the wear and tear of tough conditions. The fuel injection system may seem basic by today's standards, but back in the 80s, it was considered pretty advanced. That simplicity played a huge role in the engine's overall reliability. Now let's have a look at one of the things that make it the best. This engine is really tough. In fact, it can go over 300,000 miles with proper maintenance, no sweat. And even when something did go wrong, the 22RE was easy to fix. Parts were simple, repairs were not overly complicated, and you could get it back on the road in no time. It is no wonder why off-roaders loved it. This engine could handle just about anything you threw at it. From rough terrain to harsh weather, it never backed down. But what if you want something with a bit more power while still keeping that reputation for reliability? Buick 3800 V6 engine. First introduced way back in 1962, the engine we are talking about here is also known as the Fireball V6, which was later called the Buick 3800. It went through several improvements over the years, each one making it more reliable and solidifying its place as one of GM's most iconic engines. The Buick 3800 was a 3.8-liter V6 with a 90-degree configuration, giving it that smooth, classic V6 vibe. Like the Toyota 22RE, it had a cast-iron block, but this one also featured cast-iron heads, making it extra strong and durable. Now, the interesting thing is that this engine came in two options: naturally aspirated or supercharged. The naturally aspirated version cranked out around 150 horsepower, but if you wanted more power, the supercharged version could hit up to 240 horsepower. It was pretty impressive for an engine that's all about reliability. That power range made it versatile, so you would find it under the hood of cars like the Buick Regal, Pontiac Grand Prix, Chevrolet Impala, and even the Oldsmobile 88. But what really made this engine stand out was its simplicity. It was not flashy or overly complicated, which is why it often clocked over 200,000 miles with minimal issues. And if something did go wrong, mechanics loved working on it because repairs were straightforward and affordable. It earned a loyal following, and for good reason. But what if you need something that comes with durability and pure engineering precision? Mercedes-Benz OM 617 engine. If so, you need a Mercedes-Benz OM 617. First introduced in 1974, the OM 617 became an instant hit, known for being nearly indestructible. It is a 3.0-liter inline-5 diesel engine, and just like the Buick 3800, it has a cast-iron block, but this one also has a cast-iron head. That's double the toughness right there. This engine was built for the long haul, and it showed. Now, the OM 617 was not about flashy horsepower. Depending on the model and whether it was turbocharged, it pumped out anywhere from 80 to 125 horsepower with 120 to 170 lb-at of torque. But don't be fooled by those numbers. It is not the speed that made this engine famous. It is the fact that it could last forever. We are talking over 500,000 miles with proper maintenance. That's the kind of longevity that made it a legend among long-distance drivers, especially in places where reliability was key, like for taxi drivers and commercial vehicles. This engine powered the Mercedes-Benz W123 and W126 series, models like the 300D, 300TD, and 300SD. These cars were reliable and, yes, luxurious. They were built like tanks, and the engine fit right in. You could find these cars in the hands of people who needed their vehicles to be as dependable as possible, especially in tough conditions. And guess what? A lot of those vehicles are still on the road today, decades after they first rolled out of the factory. This engine was always about lasting power. It is no wonder the OM617 is still considered one of the best diesel engines ever made. Other than this beast, if you need raw power, especially in trucks, there is one other option for you. Ford 300 inline-six engine. We are talking about the Ford 300 inline-six engine. This beast of an engine is also known as the Big Six. It was introduced in 1965 and quickly became a favorite for those who needed durability and torque, particularly in heavy-duty trucks. Unlike the OM617, which focused on diesel efficiency, the Ford 300 was all about power. It's a 4.9-liter inline-six with a cast-iron block and head, built tough to handle anything you throw at it. With horsepower ranging between 101 to 150 and torque from 223 to 283 lb-at, depending on the year and setup, this engine had no problem pulling its weight, literally. The long-stroke design gave it serious torque, making it perfect for hauling and towing. It was not built for speed, but for strength, which is why it became famous in the Ford F-Series trucks, including the iconic F-150, F-250, and F-350. It even found its way into the Ford Bronco and other commercial vehicles. What makes this engine stand out is how simple yet effective it is. It was built to take a beating and keep going, with many of these engines surpassing 300,000 miles when properly maintained. And if something did go wrong, repairs were quick and straightforward, with mechanics loving how easy it was to work on. This engine was not flashy, but for truck enthusiasts and mechanics alike, the Ford 300 inline-six was a legend for a reason. But what about those who were looking for something more refined, something with a touch of luxury and reliability? Toyota U engine family. Introduced in the late 1980s, the Toyota U engine family was designed for Toyota's high-end and luxury vehicles, including the Lexus brand. These engines were smooth, powerful, and, of course, reliable. Everything you would expect from a Toyota, but with a dash of sophistication. The first in the series, the 1UZFA, was a 4.0-liter V8 that produced between 250 and 290 horsepower with 260 to 300 lb-ft of torque. It featured an aluminum block and heads, making it lighter while still strong enough to power vehicles like the Lexus LS400 and Toyota Crown. Now, if you are thinking about something a bit more rugged, the 2UZFE was the go-to for Toyota's trucks and SUVs. With a cast-iron block for extra durability, this 4.7-liter V8 cranked out 228 to 282 horsepower and up to 324 lb-ft of torque, depending on the model. This engine found its home in the Toyota Land Cruiser Sequoia and Lexus LX 470. These are vehicles known for their off-road prowess and dependability. Then there is the 3UZFE, a 4.3-liter V8 featuring Toyota's VVTi technology for better performance and efficiency. This engine pumped out up to 300 horsepower and was used in luxury sedans like the Lexus LS 430. Like its siblings, the 3UZFE was built with an aluminum block and heads for a balance of power and efficiency. All these engines were known for their longevity. These often last well over 300,000 miles with the right care. No wonder they became favorites among car enthusiasts who wanted luxury without sacrificing reliability. But if they wanted performance-focused, efficient design, they went for the Honda K-Series engine. Honda K-Series engine. The Honda K-Series was introduced in 2001. It was a game changer as it replaced the older B-Series and brought a new level of power, efficiency, and versatility. These engines were especially popular in the tuner community because they could handle serious upgrades while still maintaining Honda's signature reliability. Whether you are looking at the 2.0-liter K20 or the 2.4-liter K24, these engines pack a punch. Depending on the model, you could get anywhere from 150 horsepower to over 300 horsepower if you're tweaking things a bit. What really made the K-Series famous was its advanced engineering. Like the Toyota U engines, the K-Series used an aluminum block and head, making it lightweight yet durable. But the real magic came from Honda's iVTEC variable valve timing system. This technology allows the engine to adjust how it breathes depending on driving conditions, giving you the perfect mix of power and efficiency. Whether you are cruising down the highway or pushing the limits on the track, the K-Series was built to deliver. You have probably seen these engines powering everything from the Honda Civic Type R to the Acura RSX and Honda Accord. But it was not just about performance. These engines were also known for their durability. With proper maintenance, many K-Series engines easily surpass 200,000 miles without major issues. That's the kind of reliability Honda is known for, proving that you don't have to choose between power and longevity. You can have both. So, after the Honda K-Series, let's take a trip back to the 1960s with a classic, an engine that's all about simplicity and reliability. The Chrysler Slant 6. Chrysler Slant 6 engine. The Slant 6 was introduced in the 1960s. It gets its name from the unique 30-degree angle it is mounted at, which gave Chrysler the flexibility to design cars with lower hood lines. That might seem like a small detail, but it played a big role in how sleek and compact cars could be back then. The engine came in several displacements, but the most famous of the bunch was the 3.7-liter version, producing around 145 horsepower and about 225 lb-ft of torque. Not exactly mind-blowing numbers by today's standards, but back in the day, this was a solid balance of power and fuel efficiency. Built with a cast-iron block and head, this engine was tough. And when I say tough, I mean it was practically indestructible. It powered everything from the Dodge Dart to the Plymouth Valiant and other Chrysler models, earning a reputation for being super reliable. Mechanics loved it because of its simple design, making repairs and maintenance a breeze. And the best part is that many of these engines ran well beyond 200,000 miles with minimal issues. That's why it became such a favorite among classic car drivers. It didn't matter if you ran it hard or treated it gently, the Slant 6 was known for running reliably, even under less than ideal conditions. That kind of staying power is what made it a staple in Chrysler's lineup for decades. Now, after the simplicity of the Chrysler Slant 6, let's move to something a bit more modern and powerful. The GM LS V8 engine. GM LS V8 engine. The GM LS V8 engine was introduced in 1997. This engine completely shook up General Motors' approach to performance, and it has been making waves ever since. The LS V8 engine was not just built for one type of vehicle. This engine could do it all, from sports cars to trucks, making it one of the most versatile platforms ever developed. The LS family ranges in displacement from 4.8 liters all the way up to 7.0 liters. Depending on the model, it produces anywhere from 255 horsepower to over 755 horsepower. That's right, 755 horsepower. One of the reasons the LS V8 is so popular is its simple but robust design. It features an aluminum or iron block, aluminum heads, and an overhead valve setup with a pushrod valve train. This simple design made it easy to modify, which is why it is a favorite in the aftermarket scene. Whether you are building a high-performance street machine or a durable truck, the LS can handle it. You will find this engine in cars like the Chevrolet Camaro, Corvette, and Pontiac GTO, but it didn't stop there. Enthusiasts love swapping LS engines into all sorts of cars for those high-performance builds. With proper care, many of these engines exceed 300,000 miles, proving that power does not have to come at the cost of reliability. After the power-packed GM LS V8, how about we look at something that is known for its precision and refinement? BMW M50 engine. The BMW M50 engine was introduced in 1990. This engine was not about sheer horsepower, but instead focused on delivering smooth operation and performance, making it a product that helped in raising BMW's reputation for engineering excellence. The M50 engine came in two sizes, 2.0 and 2.5 liters, and featured an aluminum head with a cast iron block. This gave it the perfect balance of weight and durability. This inline-six engine used a dual overhead camshaft design with 24 valves, which was a big leap forward at the time. With power outputs ranging from 148 to 189 horsepower and torque between 140 and 181 lb-ft, it was not the most powerful engine out there, but it was all about refinement and delivering that signature BMW driving experience. One of the best features of the M50 engine was the introduction of BMW's Vanos variable valve timing system in 1992. This system improved performance and efficiency, giving the engine better low-end torque and higher top-end power. It is one of the reasons BMW fans love driving models like the E36 3 Series and E34 5 Series, both of which were powered by this engine. What really made the M50 so great was its ability to handle high mileage. These engines were built to last, often going well beyond 200,000 miles with proper care. Its robust mechanical design made it a favorite among anyone who appreciated its durability and reliability. If you wanted performance with a touch of luxury and an engine that could keep going for years, the BMW M50 was a top choice. And now, what is the one engine that has surpassed all the previous ones in performance and reliability? Toyota JZ engine family. Coming off the precision and durability of the BMW M50, we are now moving into the realm of pure performance potential with the Toyota JZ engine family. This lineup was introduced in the early 1990s and has since earned legendary status for its toughness and high-performance capabilities, especially in the tuner world. Let's start with the 1JZ, a 2.5-liter inline-six engine that delivered reliable power, but it is the 3.0-liter 2JZ that really stole the spotlight. The 2JZ GTE variant with its twin turbochargers could push out up to 320 horsepower and 315 lb-ft of torque right out of the factory. And the shocking part is that's just the beginning. Thanks to its cast iron block, the 2JZ can handle massive power increases with ease, making it a dream for car tuners and performance enthusiasts. Of course, the most famous car to carry the 2JZ GTE is the Toyota Supra, which has become an icon in automotive history. But these engines were not just limited to the Supra. You could also find them in cars like the Toyota Chaser, Toyota Aristo, and a range of Lexus models. Whether you were looking for luxury, performance, or both, the JZ engines could deliver. What really made the 1JZ and 2JZ favorite among all, though, was their ability to handle extreme modifications without sacrificing reliability. That's why these engines became so popular in the aftermarket scene. People were easily pushing 600 to 1,000 horsepower on stock internals, and the engines just kept going. If you maintained them well, it wasn't uncommon to see these engines surpass 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. This combination of durability, power, and tuning potential has made the 1JZ and 2JZ engines absolute legends in the car world. They are not just considered engines in the automotive world, they are a legacy that continues to thrive today. Which of these legendary engines would you want powering your ride? Drop your choice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth reviews. Thanks for watching.